We are continuing into session 2 of how to build a world-class bar in your own neighborhood. So, world-class bars, we went through 10 bar case study examples in the last segment. If you haven't seen that, you need to start there. But in section 2, we're going to talk about how important design is. Design is intentional. Design is creating an intentional situation, let's say the look of your bar, that has been specifically created to cause a desired feeling and outcome. So by design, you're going to give your guests a feels. They're going to connect with you. They're going to see the place. They're going to say, that's for me. I want to go in that place. So we've talked about having to get past the whole we sell drinks, we're open, into the we have Nitro Guinness on tap and it's beautiful and special and the bubbles rising will make you happy. So that's way past we're open. But the design of guest experience starts when they're way out on the street, and it ends with them writing the check and leaving and deciding if they're going to come back, write a good review. What did they experience? It's all about the design. Design of the space. When you're standing on a corner and you're like looking left, looking right, I'm going to go that place. I'm going to go in there. What you're hearkening, what you're feeling, what you're calling out is, what do I want? I think that place can give it to me. Here's what the great bars do. They tell you what you're in the mood for when you don't even really know what you want. You're hungry, you go to a restaurant. A bar, however, you're looking for something. There's that social, there's that fun. It's not just about getting a drink. It's about how do I want to feel while I'm getting that drink. This is where design comes in. But when you pick the bar, that bar didn't change. You did. You decided that bar was what you wanted. So you went in that particular place. Design will help your potential customer out on the street pick you because they'll like their feels because they want to experience what you're offering. What do you want your guests to do when they are in your bar? They're sitting, they're standing, they're playing darts, are they singing a karaoke song? Are they watching the game? You've got to decide, start there, and then say, okay, when they're in my place doing this thing, how long do I want them to be in that space, taking up that chair? Because now you're going to have to design ways to monetize that time. Somebody sits down, takes a drink, pays their price, goes out the door, you monetize that chair. But if they're there for 2, 3, 4 times longer, how's your service going to sell them additional drinks, additional products, and now they're leaving with merch, and they're leaving you a good review. They have to feel like they were wanted and they were taken care of because you designed a space around the actual activity that they're doing. So what is the environment most likely to produce this guest experience, right? So if you want people watching the game, you've got to have comfy chairs. If you want them doing line dancing classes on Thursday night, you need a big floor space. Too many places are not intentional with design. So they're like, well, I guess we'll put a dartboard up, and now it's awkward because you're throwing darts past somebody trying to play the pinball machine. You have to put your guest experience first and then work the room around what you want those guests doing while they're in your space. So here's what a customer on the street is going to do. Okay, they're going to look and say, do I want this? Does this resonate with me? There are 6 phases that your customer is going to go through from encountering your bar to signing the check and leaving. Here are the 6 phases. First, street view, far. This is where exterior condition is critical. Is it clean? Is it painted? Is the signage good? Does it have a message that I can resonate with? Is it really crystal clear what's going on in this place? But the street view from far is their first exposure. That's their first opportunity to do the math on if they want to come in. Then number 2, you get into the walk up and the approach. Now I can hear the music coming through the window. Now I can hear and smell and see that this might or might not be the place for me. If I decide it is, now I'm going to walk through the entryway and go through a seating process. And this is where I'm trying to figure out the rules Your design of your space needs to make it so that that guest can go through these first 3 transitions with zero pain. They get it. They know what the rules are. They know how to come inside. They know how to sit down. Then there's the journey to the table. And this is where they're trying to figure out, how do I order? Do I have a waitress coming to me? Do I need to order at the bar? Again, signage and scripts and greetings all need to contain the designed experience that you want that guest going through, so they have zero pain points. Number 5, they hit the table. The table is now their home base. They're going to be here for as long as you want them to be. But now you've got that design so that they're comfortable doing what they're doing. They're watching the game. They're taking their turn to sing karaoke. But all the while, you're monetizing that seat because they're in your space to make you a profit. The final wrap-up that goes around all of this is the service, the experience, and the payment process. So at this point, this is where you have got to save that bad review or that I won't be back. Because up until stage 5, they are still making up their mind. At stage 6, it's kind of starting to lock in, and they either love this place and will be back, or they love this place and will never come back because they're a tourist, but they're going to talk about it and they're going to leave you a review. Or it wasn't great, and they're going to bomb you on a review. All 6 of these phases of guest movement are so critical to making sure you get that repeat business, that good word of mouth, and that good review. Design that flow so that you are maximizing the profits and the guest experience at the same time. So this is where you have to make some hard decisions on staffing. What kind of furniture can you afford? What kind of activities can you put in your place? What your floor space needs to be. Design a process so your customer has flow through all 6 of those stages. So you maybe have a smaller staff. You can do an order at the bar policy in a neighborhood bar. That's no problem. You just have to make sure that people know what the rules are. And you can even have limited food options because guess what? You're a bar. You're not a restaurant. But the only way your guest is going to know this is if you've designed the experience and you have the right signage to say, this is how it works. Please come in and enjoy it. This is our little way. Communication is everything because when your guest walks in, they immediately need to be told, here's how it works around here. Okay. Every place is a little different. Every place has a different way to pay or order or what you do when you walk in. Great signage will tell that story. Fast, immediate greet script. Hey guys, come on in, take a seat. When you're ready, come on up to the bar and order. That just immediately cleared out a bunch of uncomfortable stuff. What do we do? Where do we sit? Can we sit down? Should we order at the bar? That greet script is everything. No matter what style of service you have, you must engage in proactive follow-ups. Proactive follow-ups are the way that you check in before things go south. If they're getting frustrated or if there's a problem, you are there to solve it. In the process of having that conversation, engage in upsells and have conversations. Tell the story of the bar. Tell why this thing is here. Oh, that fish up on the wall? I've got a great story about that. We have a fish up on our wall. It was there when we bought the bar. There was a giant fireball poster taped on top of it. You didn't even know it was there. Pull down the fireball poster. It's this beautiful marlin. That is a story that we tell all of the time. And what's funny about our fish is the belly of it is really, really yellow. And that fish, when it was first taxidermied, is silver. So I have this great story to tell my guests that say, come look at see how this is yellow? Do you know that's 30 years of cigarette smoke from the old place? And then I tell the story about the renovation, how we had to paint and shellac and take out the carpets and do everything to get rid of the old cigarette smell. And then they look around, they're like, yeah, it really is clean. And oh, it doesn't smell like smoke at all. Wow, good job. Bond right there. That story with that fish is my checking on the table, but also now I'm communicating to them what our culture and how we are. And I've communicated to them we have a value of cleanliness. It all comes down to ketchup at some point. Okay. So if you've got a table that has not been greeted well, and they were trying to figure out where to sit, and they didn't know how to order, and there was no follow-up and a real lack of care. If they need ketchup and they don't get it for a while, steam's coming out of their ears. That's a bad review coming, right? Now, if you've taken care of that guest and you gave them a big hello and you made them feel wanted and welcomed, and there was just, hey, appreciation, there's a seat, and then you can't get to them for a bit because you're busy, they're going to understand that's a total difference when you showed care. One little thing of ketchup is so demonstrative of how they felt in your bar. Maybe they didn't get the ketchup, but it's okay. He was busy. It's a great place. We'll go back. This is what makes or breaks reviews. That ketchup, whether they went into the red zone and is like, I'm never coming back here, or I understand, we love the place, I didn't get my ketchup, it didn't matter. That's all about service, engagement with the customer, and being in a designed flow so I know what to expect, I know how it works around here. And in the design of that, you can also design culture, okay? Let's go back to the green parrot. The green parrot has that no sniveling thing, right? How do you feel when you don't have ketchup? Not very happy, but I'm in a bar that celebrates this no sniveling. So I'm going to get up and I'm going to go ask for ketchup, and I'm going to keep that as part of my, I know what the rules are here. Design and communication in combination will save so many bad reviews because people know what to expect. They know what the culture is. But then you take it a step further by saying there's only one place in the world like this. We're one of a kind. But you have to execute it well, and you have to stay consistent. Ooze with culture means I get the rules of this place. I'm going to play along. I'm a happy customer. Now, when it comes to designing that flow, that's up to your floor space, and you've got to come be the customer yourself, literally go through those 6 stages. Stand out on the street, stand near your front door, stand in your entryway, go to the middle of the room. What signage is there? How do I know what the rules are? Be your own customer and stand in all 6 of these places and say, would I get it? Would I understand? Do I know what the rules are? If you haven't done that yourself, you're leaving this up to this wild chance, and customers will consistently fail that test. So be your own customer and stand in each location and say, would I get it? Would I understand? Do I know that I should go up to the bar? Be your own guinea pig to say, I should put a sign here. This is where we hit them with the script to say, okay, guys, once you're done with this, come on up and we're going to cash you out. You've got to help the customer understand these are the rules in this place. Now, speaking of design, should you theme your bar? And by theme, should we put this very specific motif on your place? Let me ask you, when you say, hey, I think I might want to own a bar, is there a vision in your head? What is the customer doing? Are they line dancing on Thursday nights? Are they sitting and playing trivia? Are they looking at a giant board of a bunch of beers and trying to figure out which one they want to order? What is that experience? And should you theme your bar? Well, Paige and I love themes. We think themes work. Themes give an instant connection to a certain percentage of customers. So remember when they're out on the sidewalk and they're trying to decide, are we going to go in there or not? Well, a theme immediately says, oh, I've attached what I know about Irish pubs or tiki bars or country bars. Do I want that or not? Immediately you resonate with that customer. Now, not everybody is going to do it. So you're going to have a certain percentage that says, oh, you know what, that's not for me. But here's what we feel is such a critical part of being a themed bar. The ones that do want you, they love it. They're already your friend. They're already committed. They're already loyal to the idea. Now you just have to execute well. Let's go back to the Irish pub, okay? The Irish pub means something to everyone. You know what? I'm going to have a Guinness pint. There's probably going to be some live music. Yeah, I like comfort food. I mean, mashed potatoes are great. It doesn't matter what's on them. But then you flip that over to a tiki bar. Like, this is Frankie's in Vegas. And by the way, Vegas is so bright and sunny all the time. When you go through the doors of Vegas, it's so dark in there and you can't see. It takes 5 minutes to acclimate. You're like walking around trying to figure out where to sit. It's part of the charm. It's part of the kitsch because that's tiki, right? Exotic drinks, kitsch decor. There's, the fun of probably a karaoke. That comes hand in hand with tiki because I've resonated immediately with, I know what the theme is. Oh, I'm going to pick that. I'm curious what's in your head when you have a dream for your bar. What are you passionate about? And here's why passion is important. After day 900, you still have to care about this place. And Paige and I love our Irish pub because we're never tired of figuring out some little thing to put on the wall. And when we travel, we're constantly looking for Irishy things. The same with our tiki bar. We are constantly on a scavenger hunt. We will go to Goodwill's out of town. When we go, like, say, to the beach for the weekend, we'll go find a thrift shop. That would go great in the Irish pub. Look at that lamp. That's awesome. Because we have this passion for it, it gives us longevity and sustainability. It's more than just like, oh, we think people like Irish pubs, which we feel like they do. But we like Irish pubs. So what are you passionate about? What will keep your fires going for a while? And also, what assets, what talents do you have access to? So do you know somebody in construction that could build like a big mural wall and you could put a Stonehenge face on there? Or artists, like let's say you have access to somebody that can do murals and that goes great in a tequila bar, right? You know what it is. If you have it in your heart, you're like, oh yeah, that's the right place for me. And then decor ideas, just like we were talking about scavenging it. What do you have access to? What can you leverage? What saves you money? Who do you know that does a thing that you can put that into a themed design for your bar? Essentially, what do you love that makes an instant connection to customers? We think that customers resonate well with a themed bar. If you can design your idea from start to finish, go through those 6 stages of guest movement, focus your idea, and then communicate the rules of your place, and then bring a level of culture to it so you ooze with culture on this good foundation of good design, good communication, lots of culture. That's the magic recipe, you your own mad scientist, for designing a world-class bar in your own neighborhood.